Hey guys, welcome to today back with another episode of the 2026 Tax Talk. And today we're talking about the EV credit, electric vehicle credit. If you're not sure what the EV means, and a little bit of an update for you because if you bought an electric car in 2025, depending on when you bought it, you might not get a tax credit anymore. So that's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Jennifer Drew. I am the founder and CEO of Hair CEO. We are an advisory, bookkeeping, and tax firm helping self employed hair professionals and hair business owners run legitimate, profitable, and bankable businesses. And so, if this is the first time here, welcome. We are going over just different topics throughout the first quarter of 2026 as it relates to the 2025 filing season and other filing seasons. Like I mentioned, the EV credit. So, a little bit of a background on this EV credit. There has been a credit for quite a few years, and I'm kind of mad I didn't figure out how many years this goes back, but there's been a $7,500 tax credit if you purchased an electrical vehicle. And then there was even a lower amount you could receive if you purchased a used electrical vehicle. Now, of course, when you pay attention to the tax code is cool because, well, cool relative, right? I mean, probably not very cool, but I'm a tax nerd, so I think it's kind of cool. You can always look at the tax code and see what the government is trying to get you to do. So during the Biden administration, EV credits, right? So electrical vehicles. So the government was trying to encourage American people to purchase electrical vehicles. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I was persuaded by the tax credit. Maybe a tiny bit of me was. Now, I didn't pull the trigger and get an electrical vehicle, but it's been heavy on my mind. I'm not gonna lie. Really been eyeing the Teslas. And I love the bubble shape. I'm a huge like bubble shape car person. And I've driven some Teslas, long distance trips, going down to visit my grandfather in Richmond. And yeah, I really like the electric vehicle. But I haven't pulled the trigger yet. And now I'm kind of sad because I don't know. I knew the electrical vehicle credit wasn't going to be around forever, but it was $7,500 credit if you purchased. And so quite a few clients of mine have purchased EVs, Teslas in particular, and they've gotten this $7,500 credit. Well, as you know, we're no longer in the Biden administration. Now we are in the Trump administration, and the EV credit gone. Remember the bromance, the big story about the bromance between Trump and Elon Musk, and it kind of like going crazy, or I guess, I mean, they're good now, but they had gone through like this public breakup of the bromance. Well, it was because of this EV credit. Well, that's the way that the news characterized it. But essentially, the EV credit was like on the chopping block in this bill. And yeah, it's gone. So, $7,500 credit for purchasing an electrical vehicle or $4,000 for purchasing a used electrical vehicle got completely nixed. So now, so 7,500 was the amount of credit you got if you purchased new, and the $4,000 credit was if you purchased a used vehicle. Now, they X this as of September 25th, 2025. So that was the last date. Or was it the 30th? I may have this date wrong. Give me one second. Was it September? Because that seems really strange. What was I thinking of September 25th? Sorry. I think I was thinking September 2025, but this is September 30th. So September 30th, 2025 was actually the cutoff for when you can no longer get the credit. So if you purchased your Tesla or your electrical vehicle, whichever one you had before this cutoff, then you want to make sure that when you're talking to your tax professional that you are giving them the necessary documentation to prove that, because you can still get your $7,500 credit. And remember, this is not just for business owners. So even if you are a barber, braider, whatever, and you didn't purchase a car for your business, but let's say you purchased just a car for yourself. I've had many stylists and barbers who purchase Teslas or other, well, really Teslas. I mean, I know there are other electrical vehicles, but my clients have been purchasing Teslas. And so they got this EV credit. Now, if you purchased October 1st, yeah, the credit is gone. New, used, it's completely gone. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news if you didn't realize that this tax credit was gone because maybe you weren't following the news and maybe you just weren't aware that this tax credit was no longer going to be applicable after the 30th of September. But yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm in that boat, right? Because although I have not pulled the trigger on buying a new car, I am still contemplating a Tesla. And my mom, I know my mom is on this live right now watching, and I don't think she's going to be happy hearing me say that I still want a Tesla. She wants me to get a new car. She's been begging me to get a new car. But I'm going to tell y'all, like I tell her, I want a new car, but I don't want no car payment. Like, I have not had a car payment in years, okay? And that is a really good feeling. I don't want to pay monthly for a car note. So I'm holding on to my baby, my Camry. It's been real good to me. Um, but for this new vehicle that I'm gonna get, I'm kind of sad because if I go the electrical vehicle route, I don't have this credit anymore. So you're like, all right, well, do we get anything? Like, what if I need to buy a car? Like, what do I have? Well, what you do have is the American made incentive now, right? So again, you can always tell what the industry, what the administration wants you to do by looking at what is the tax code saying. So the Biden administration wanted you to buy electric. Trump's administration, they want you to buy American. So the new credit is for the interest on your interest when the car is assembled in the US. So that is the incentive. So if you are in the market or if you purchased a car in 2025 and it just so happens that this car was assembled in the US, then you want to make sure that you're bringing that information to your tax professional because you may be eligible for up to $10,000 in that interest deduction. Now, let's say you have a mobile barbershop or a mobile hair salon. This is still something that you can do, but I went into it more in detail a few days ago, but you want to be careful because this is a personal deduction. And so even if you are buying something for business and personal, you want to make sure you understand the details on how you have to use it and purchase it. Because a lot of questions I get are like, do I put the car in my business name? Do I put the car, like, do I get business insurance for the car? Like all of these questions, and they're valid questions, but you have to be careful with this particular purchase because the law states it's very clear that this is more of a personal tax deduction, not a business. So in the event that you're going to use it for both, it has to be at least 50% personal use. And like I said, go back a few days because I went into this in detail, talking about the $10,000, up to $10,000 interest deduction for the American assembled cars. So you'll want to go back there. So yeah, so today is real short. I just wanted to let you know that if you purchased an electrical vehicle before September 30th, 2025, make sure that you give that information to your tax professional for 2025 because you can still get that $7,500 credit if it's new. Now, if you purchased a used electrical vehicle before September 30th, 2025, you can still get the $4,000 tax deduction. And but if you purchased it after, hey, congratulations, you still got a new car, but you don't get a tax deduction. Sorry. Now, maybe you purchased it after October 1st, after September 30th, right? And you have interest, you took out you financed and you have this interest and it was assembled in the US, well, guess what? Now you get to write off up to $10,000 a year of interest. But who is paying $10,000 in interest in 1 year? It better not be you. It better not be, because that would just make me cringe. Okay. First of all, I mean, even if I'm paying 10,000, yeah, okay, well, I'm not going there. I can go down the rabbit hole and I got taxes to do because it is 7 o'clock. It's past 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And guess what today is? State of the Union Day. So I'm gonna be watching, and I have just a few hours for me to wrap up some tax work. So if you are a self-employed hair professional, if you are a hair business owner, and you want help with your taxes or understanding any of these credits that may apply to you, click the link in the description, and I would love to work with you. And let me see, I got a comment. If you buy new, the dealer would have given you a form letting you know that the car is eligible and send your information to the RA. Yes, thank you, Bill. I appreciate you mentioning that because that is absolutely true. Bill says if you buy new, the dealer would have given you a form. And matter of fact, I think I wrote down this form number in my notes here. It's like form 8 something. Where did I write it down? Okay. It's not on my notes here. Oh, here it is. Form 8936. 80. Hey, see, Bill, you know what? You're my moderator, Bill. All right, Bill, you coming through for me. So I'm gonna expect you tomorrow at the same time, same place. Okay. The 8936. Yes. So your dealer would have given you this form letting you know that they also sent the information to the IRS. So really glad you mentioned that because you just can't tell your tax professional like, oh yeah, I bought a Tesla and it was new, so give me the $7,500 tax deduction, because you know how some of y'all are. Y'all deal with these shady tax professionals, and they'll be like, just say you bought a Tesla. We'll submit it to the IRS. No, man. The IRS already knows if you purchased it and they know the date. So you have to make sure that your dealer has given you this form. And they're pretty good about giving you this form because I mean that was one of the biggest like promotions that they were doing. Like, hey, make sure you buy this car because you get a $7,500 tax deduction. Like they were pushing it. Like that was part of like their spiel to get you the purchase. So they would have made sure that they've given you this form or told you about this form so that you can purchase. So you'll want to make sure you have that form, or if you don't, if you lost it, make sure you reach out and ask them because the IRS is cross-checking with that form because, I mean, the IRS just not trying to be out here giving $7,500 credits for no reason. So you definitely want to make sure you have that. All right, guys. Well, that is my time, and I thank you for yours. And I will see you tomorrow when we go over another tax topic for the 2026 filing season. All right. See you then.